Hi everyone, welcome back to She Sews Happiness. I'm Mary Ellen and I'm going to share with you today, if you stay tuned, a few of the fabrics that I have been acquiring this month. I can't believe it's March already, but I'm starting to think more about my spring and summer plans finally, even though it is pouring down outside and it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the lights are all on. So yeah, I suppose outside isn't very inspiring, but my fabric choices and purchases are. So I'll share those with you today, but just to let you know what I am working on, it will come as no surprise to you because I did talk about it in my Sunday sews. I did decide after all to make another Tilly and the Buttons cardigan with this beautiful like lipstick red fabric, cotton jersey that I purchased from Jenny Stitches last month. I had originally intended to turn this into a Charm Patterns Barbie top, but I've just fallen in love with the pearl cardigan and I get so much wear out of the couple that I've already made that I thought a red addition to the wardrobe would actually be a decent investment. So I've made a start on that, and you'll notice as well I am wearing the dress that I was chatting about in my Sunday sews. It's episode 1, by the way, if you want to look back and refer to that. So this is the Schultz Apparel Gouda dress. It's a fabric that was gifted to me by Minerva as part of their ambassador program, and originally I'd chosen this with a totally different project in mind. I had originally intended to make the Friday Pattern Company's Heather blazer, but a fellow sewist on Instagram and YouTube Shirley gave me a little bit of advice, and I'm always up for advice from sewists who are much more experienced than I am. I am still very much a novice. I'm just coming into finishing off the 2nd year of my sewing journey, so I have so much to learn. But she did say that this may not be the perfect fabric to make the Heather blazer. So I took her at her word, as a good learning beginner does, and I decided to make something else with it instead. Now, I'm really surprised that I love this so much because pink is not a colour I would gravitate towards ordinarily, but I really love this, and I think maybe there's just enough black in it to make it, you know, broken down enough for me. So yeah, the Gouda dress, if you check out my Sunday sews, episode 1, you'll find out all the details about that dress over there. And if you follow me over on Minerva or on my Instagram, the handle is just the same as my channel, She Sews Happiness. You'll find more pictures of the dress there. Anyhow, let's get into what we're actually here to talk about, and that is beautiful fabrics, because as we all know by now, buying fabric and sewing are two very separate hobbies, and I for one enjoy them both immensely. So one of the first things I have here, and I'm thinking of spring and summer coming in, is this beautiful deadstock viscose fabric, which I purchased from Nikki over at Missy Mops. Now, I couldn't actually resist this because I love that teal colour against the bright yellow and the white polka dot. So I always kind of have eyed up these beautiful lemon print fabrics, and I've never actually opted to buy them before. They're usually on a black or a navy background, but this one, just because of the teal, popped out at me and I couldn't resist making that, and that's going to become, I believe, a sew over Marguerite dress for the warmer months. Absolutely gorgeous. Now the next fabric I've got here, next two actually, have been gifted by Minerva, so over the next couple of months I'll sew those up. Now I know I said I'm thinking about spring and summer, and my next fabric might make you think I'm not thinking about those at all, but I am, I promise. I live in Northern Ireland, as some of you will know, if my accent hasn't given it away already, so our weather is entirely unreliable. So I can excuse myself for making transitional garments really that can be pulled out for any month of the year. So this is a really interesting fabric, and I know it looks really heavy, it looks really wintry, but actually it's not that wintry at all. This has a bit of wee stretch in it as well, which always makes it really comfy, but I just love this colour at the moment. I mean, you can see there's quite a bit of it all around me, so I couldn't resist this. And the interesting thing about this fabric, so it is a wool, 100% wool, and it is also responsible wool standard. So ethically, I've excused myself already just by, you know, thinking of the credentials of the fabric. But this I have to make a Peter Pan bolero. I have one now in almost every colour. I really do. But I don't have this colour, so it was absolutely essential to choose this as my fabric. So I love it. It feels gorgeous. It's a little rougher on the outside as you would expect. The inside's lovely, so it'll be nice on the skin. And it does have that wee bit of stretch, which is what you need, but it is a stable knit as well, so it's not going to lose its shape or anything when you sew it, which is perfect for the Charm Patterns Peter Pan Bolero. So that's one of my projects, and that has, as I say, been gifted by Minerva, as has this fabric here. So I don't know if you've seen, because I probably haven't shown you yet, but I was talking about it in my sewing plans last month. I had a beautiful like bottle green tencel twill which I had purchased from the rag shop, and with the intention of making a stanwick skirt, and I did stand by my intention. And in fact, I'll pop a picture in for you just so you can see it, but I finally made the stanwick skirt. I don't know when that pattern was released, a long time ago, and it has been there in my pattern catalogue for a long time, and I finally made it. And now that I have, it's again one of those things, I need one in every single colour. So firstly, I need one in black, but while black is definitely one of my favourite colours, I don't like just a basic black. So I have this absolutely gorgeous, well, it's actually a stretch woven jacquard suiting fabric, which has a lovely, and I don't know if you can see it there on camera, but it has a lovely texture. So I thought that would just elevate a basic black stanwick skirt, and yeah, I'm loving it. There's not that much stretch in it, and because of the pattern that I'm choosing to use when sewing this up, it's not going to make a blind bit of difference, because the only part really that has to fit your body is the waistbands. I'm making the full gored circle skirt version of that pattern, and yeah, it'll be stabilized anyhow, so that's not going to make any difference at all to the overall look or finish of the garment. Now, everything else that I've got here has just arrived, so to be honest, I haven't even opened it yet. It's just been one of those days where my focus is a little bit all over the place. So I'll show you what I've got anyhow. So I've got two parcels here, both from the Sewist fabric shop. Now, if you're aware of the Sewist fabric shop and you follow them over on Instagram, you'll know that the lovely Han has decided to close the fabric shop as she is moving on to a new adventure. Now, I don't know what her new ventures are yet, but I'm really excited to find out. She's an absolutely lovely person, and I've blogged for her in the past as well. So I couldn't resist when she said she was going to be selling off her stock. A couple of purchases in the sale. I actually have a couple more which I went back and bought, so I'm sure they'll arrive, and I'll share those with you as well a little later on. So the first thing I got, and again, there really is a theme here. I've got 3 meters of this beautiful 100% washed linen, and I don't know what I'm going to make with this yet, but it will become a beautiful summer dress of some description. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's 135 centimeters wide. It's 240 in weight, so it's a good linen, and I can't even see through it. So for some light colours you tend to see through them, so this one's perfect. Won't even need to line it or anything, or think about modesty and stick a slip underneath, which is always a bonus. And then the other fabric that has arrived from the Sewist, let me just open it up. Oh, there's no need to take care and be delicate with these things, is there? So the other thing I bought, and again, this seems to be my colours at the moment, are these beautiful greens and mustards and ochre. This is just a plain cotton jersey, so 100% cotton. Well, technically 95% cotton, because there's always that 5% of elastane, lycra, whatever in there. And this is just to make myself a lovely, basic, everyday jersey dress. My favourite jersey dress is actually Colette Patterns Moneta, which sadly you can't get anymore. And I'm lamenting this for everyone who doesn't have it. But yeah, that's what that's going to be. Love this little colour tone as it's sitting here before me. And then the next thing I've got, this is actually for a pattern test, so no spoilers. This is from Jenny Stitches Fabrics, and my dogs get really excited about Jenny's packages because her packaging, which is, you know, very sustainable, is all old pattern paper, which is just absolutely beautiful to come in the post. And in here with some of my basics, like the interfacing that I was complaining about needing the other day, and in my little bag of goodies here, I love Jenny's branding. I have got, as I said, I needed some sips, so I've gone with my neutral tones just to top up the stash a little, and I've got the thread I need to make my project. And the fabric that I have got is, oh my goodness, even nicer than I realized it was on the website. So this is a beautiful cotton lawn fabric. So it is for a pattern test, which, by the way, I will be toweling several times before cutting into this beautiful fabric. I know I do have a time restriction when it comes to pattern tests, but that is no excuse to cut out the work of toweling. And in here as well, Jenny now does A0 printing, so I have a copy of the pattern, so I can start toweling that maybe even this evening if I get it cut out and get my focus right. I think I will just finish my cardigan first though, because I'm on a flow with that. But back to the fabric. So yeah, as I say, it's a cotton lawn. It has this beautiful mint green, but different for, like, it's even an aqua, a brighter green, and then this lovely pink contrast through it. But can you see, if I hold that up to the camera, that there's actually texture woven into this as well. So down some of the stripes, there are beautiful textured stripes, which really gives it a wee bit of dimension as well. That's beautiful. I did not know about that. So there we go. Hopefully now I'll get that made up, and I don't end up just making several different towels and sending those through as a result of my pattern test. But fingers crossed I get to sew with this, and I don't think I'll be wearing it until summer, but still it'll be there whenever I want it. So that's everything that has arrived so far, but I will add to this video. Hello, I'm back again. It's the next day. I've had a couple of fabric deliveries, and I'm going to start with the best one. So the first one I'm going to show you is from a company that I have talked about in a couple of my last videos, and that is Missy Mop Fabrics. So Nikki is based in the Hastings area. I just wish she was closer, because I know that she doesn't even have half her fabrics online, and I would do anything to go through her stash. So Nikki specialises in vintage and dead stock fabrics, and there's a wee bit of a story behind this purchase. So basically at the weekend, we're now what, Thursday? At the weekend, my dear friend Lisa was on a mission. She had this spur of the moment decision to have a bit of a fundraiser to raise money for the disaster emergency fund, to go directly to Ukraine. And she was selling things that she would have been selling at vintage craft fairs and things over the last few years, and she had some pieces left, and she thought she would basically get all the funds from that and donate them. And Nikki very kindly gifted her a couple of fabrics to sell as part of this fundraiser as well, and I purchased one of them. It took a lot of restraint to not purchase both. So yes, the fabric here is something really special, and something I will not be cutting into until I'm absolutely certain that the dress I choose to make is fitted to a T. So here is the fabric, and I love this little velvet bow, which I will reuse as well. But this is a beautiful shade of red, and it's a darling brocade. I mean, look at the detail that is in this fabric. It's the kind of fabric as well that when I just roll it out and you can see it in a full length, it's going to look even more stunning. So I couldn't say no to this, and this will be turned into like a 1950s Dior inspired new look prom style dress, I think. I don't think I'll deviate from that plan. But Lisa did say to me, because she's a dressmaking teacher, that, you know, she always says she can't wait to get her hands on me to perfect the fit, because I'm doing okay and I can do all the basic adjustments, but there's a lot of little issues even around the back area that I suppose you can't really do when you're just by yourself unless you know what you're doing. So can't wait until I get that full experience with her and learn from her expertise the few things that I am missing in my dressmaking arsenal of fitting techniques. So yeah, I absolutely love that fabric, and it's going to be really, really special. So I do recommend you check out Missy Mop if you're not familiar. I only recently discovered them then back in December when Lisa and I were running our Very Vintage Christmas challenge over on Instagram, and she was one of our sponsors, and I absolutely love it. So thank you so much, Nikki, for coming forward and helping me find you and enabling me to buy even more beautiful fabrics than I really should. So that was the first of 2 deliveries. The second delivery is from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn, and it's not actually the one that I was expecting. I made an order way back, like something, I think it was the 11th of February, going by my shop app, because I've just had to email them to inquire as to where it might be. But since then, just there at the beginning of March, so not only a few days ago, like probably the weekend. In fact, yeah, the weekend, the same weekend I was buying my red fabric. There's a theme here. I purchased this beautiful maroon polka dot fabric. So in my wardrobe at present, there is a dress which I have worn and loved on many occasions. It's an old Jenny Packham dress, and I just love the colour of it as much as I love the style. I love the colour, and I've been wanting something in that colour for a while now, just to replace it, because it's not going to fit me anytime soon, or anytime not so soon, I don't think. Bearing in mind I was probably like a size 8, 10 when I was wearing it. No, it wasn't. It was more like a size 12. It was like a size 12, but I'm still not going to fit into that anytime soon, not unless I start starving myself, and let me guarantee you that's not going to happen. So I'm going to make myself a beautiful like tea-style dress out of this fabric, and then live in the hope that the beautiful sustainable viscose that I ordered from them back at the start of February actually arrives. Although I'm kind of running out of hope at this point. This has happened to me before, where I've waited weeks for a fabric to arrive, and then when I got in touch, I've been told that they'd actually sold out of that fabric much faster than anticipated, you know, but I'd still made my order and paid for it and just never heard anything back until I asked. And even one of the last fabric orders I made from them, I got some jersey fabrics, and one of them I was sent like 2 meters instead of what I'd ordered. I'd ordered more to make like a summer maxi dress, and now I have to decide what to do with this kind of like border print jersey, and I have no idea. I probably will never use it, because it's really hard for me. If I buy a fabric with a specific intention in mind, I want to make that thing that I bought the fabric for. So I'm now totally out of love with that fabric, and I should really just send it to somebody as a gift, which is what I think I will do. So yeah, those are my deliveries today. And hopefully maybe I'll pop on tomorrow and show you my gorgeous pink and like orange floral that was to make a beautiful tea dress with. We'll see. All hope is not gone. But in the meanwhile, I do love this, and I'm going to pop it into the wash so I can get sewing with this sooner rather than later. But for now, I am here and I have a pattern to work at. I am toiling for a pattern test, so that's what I'm going to do with my evening. And I will need luck, because even the largest cup size, and it comes in several cup sizes, does not accommodate these. Story of my life. Do you know, you think that when you get used to doing a typical adjustment, like a full bust adjustment, that it would stop feeling like a chore. But I think it really only feels like a chore to me because, you know, you see that there are all these cup sizes listed, and yet none of them work for you. So I'm going to go and make a few adjustments that I know from my own calculations and my measurements need made, and then make up a little toile and see what other little issues there are as well. I'm guessing there'll be shoulder fitting issues and things like that, because that's always standard for me. And necklines are always something that needs a bit of work. So I'm going to go on and do that. And yeah, if I get any more fabric deliveries in the next few days, I will share those with you as well. So it's Friday, I'm back. I do have a delivery. Unfortunately, it's still not my fabric from Rainbow Fabrics, so I do need to go on the hunt to find another orange ditzy floral, because I've just given up hope on that and I'm writing it off as a loss. But beautiful fabric from Sister Mintaka, which I could not resist on Wednesday evening, is here. So I mean, it was delivered today and it was only posted yesterday. It's kind of what we need when we're desperate to get our fabric in the mail. So 10 out of 10 for that one. So I did promise myself that I'd stopped buying fabric for the month of March, but when Sandeep released this little collection on Wednesday evening, I could not resist. So let me show you what I bought, and I think you'll realize why I couldn't resist it. So let's just tear this open. Oh, it's lovely. It's beautiful. So this, I believe, is a viscose fabric, and I'm just going to open it out so you can see this fabric. It has a lot of astrological symbology on there, and what is even more beautiful is it has these beautiful little flecks of gold. And Sandeep was saying in her stories the other day that she had done a test to see how it would wash, and it does seem to hold up pretty well, but just to be on the safe side, to wash it either in a cool wash, or I probably will hand wash it just to be sure. But I couldn't resist that. I just love those tones and I love that print. I do have a thing for astrological prints and cosmology, so that was one that I couldn't actually say no to. Now it is going away because I've kind of broken my own rules and I've bought another fabric that I do not as yet know what I'm going to make with it, but I'll put it away until I figure that out. I think I have 3 meters there, if I recall. So yeah, that'll make something really, really beautiful. I love these tones of the blue and the green. I think they're absolutely beautiful. They work so well with that kind of muted gold glitter. So yay, yay, happy. So tonight I am working on something. I started this yesterday evening. It's a pattern test that I'm working on, so no spoilers yet, I'm afraid. But yeah, I got the first towel made up. There's a couple of adjustments I think I need to make. One to the arms, the other is the waist darts. I need to move those so they're actually pointing towards my bust apex, and at the moment they're like out around this point rather than central here. So I'm going to do that now and make those modifications and then run off another toile, and the beautiful fabric is in the wash ready to start on that then tomorrow evening after work or on Sunday. And it's that beautiful cotton lawn that I was sharing earlier in my video, which I got from Jenny Stitches. That's what that's going to be made up in, and hopefully it works out as beautifully as it feels in my head. You know when you have a vision and you just want it to work out that way? So yeah, hopefully that's how it'll work. So I'm going to go off and do that, and if I do get anything else delivered over the weekend, I will come back and share it. If nothing else arrives by then, I will be posting this video to sweet. So back to it. So it's Saturday, my work day is done. I'm not long home from work. I've come home, have a cup of tea, haven't even poured a glass of wine yet. That's how restrained I'm being. But yeah, I had a lovely work day. We had a creative writing workshop today, which was being hosted by me, but facilitated by a lovely author, Emma Hellerington, who is a local author. She's based in Northern Ireland, and she was doing a creative writing workshop, and it was a wonderful way to spend a work day, to be honest. And I've come home with an advance copy of her novel that is due to be released on April 14th called One More Day. And while I thought this morning that I was coming home to do a little sewing and pick up on my pattern test that I actually didn't touch last night. I think I'm going to read this novel instead. Now, I might still get a little bit of work done later on because I tend to read novels pretty quickly once I start. You know, I can get through a novel in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I just have a brain that's trained to be like that. And yeah, really excited to read it. And I'm sure it'll be absolutely wonderful. So, what did I get today? Not the little orange ditzy fabric that I've been waiting for, of course, because yeah, that's just not coming. But earlier in the video, I was showing you a couple of fabrics that I picked up from the Sewist fabric shop. Han is closing down her fabric store and had a bit of a sale on. And I just noticed when I was back on checking if she had something else, a couple of pieces of floor. So I picked up 2 meters, it was all there was left, but 2 meters of black and 2 meters of this wine. And I've absolutely no idea what I'm going to make with it, but I'm sure something will come to me. They're really, really nice. They've actually got a lovely bit of a sheen, so definitely for evenings more than anything else. This is a particularly lovely colour, I have to say. I really, really like it, and the sheen makes it even nicer. That texture is lovely as well. So yeah, no idea what I'm going to make, but we'll see. I'll come up with something. I'm not going to get everything that I've bought this month sewed up in the next couple of weeks anyhow. Let's be realistic. These days I'm less about sewing as I am the learning. So I have slowed down my sewing process an awful lot this year, and I'm trying to be more intentional in what I sew, so actually filling the gaps in my wardrobe rather than making all the pretty dresses. Because, to be honest, I don't need any more pretty dresses. That's not to say I'm not going to make some, but you know, I have been focusing on making separates, so some cardigans. I've made a skirt this month already, made a couple of blouses last month. So yeah, I'm trying to work on those gaps and not get distracted by dressmaking per se. So yeah, I'm going to go off and read my book, pour myself a proper drink and just enjoy relaxing for an hour or two. I'll hopefully get this video uploaded as well, but to be honest, my broadband is so pitifully slow here. I live in the sticks, so there's not much broadband, and it does take a long time for my videos to upload. So honestly, I dare say I'll have finished my novel by the time my video uploads. So yeah. I think I need to get back to my pattern test. Last night I was full of great intentions, but no, I didn't get anything done. So I do need to make up that second toile of the pattern test that I am currently working on. And I will, after I have some reading time, I will maybe get an hour to do that. It doesn't take up a long time to knock up a toile. It's more about making the adjustments properly on those pattern pieces. But the actual sewing doesn't take any time at all. So I'll maybe do that for a wee while. And yeah, just enjoy what's left of my weekend. So obviously it's a short weekend when you've been working, but when work is actually quite enjoyable, you really don't mind. And hopefully I'll get a wee bit more sewing done tomorrow as well. But the good news for me is that I do have a few days off next week. So St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner, and I've taken a couple of more days off as well. So I do have that pattern test, which I will complete next week. And I have another pattern test as well that I am going to do. I could not resist the latest Stitch Witch pattern, so I do have that to work on too. And I have a blog that I need to focus on for Felicity Fabrics. I'm going to be the guest blogger over on Felicity for the month of April. I'm just waiting for the fabric to arrive and I will get stuck into that. I know what I'm doing, so you know, I've got the focus. It's just about getting it sewn up and writing about it, which I do love doing. And another thing that's really exciting actually, and was announced yesterday on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, is that I'm joining Jenny Stitches. And you'll know if you've watched my videos, I have a lot of time for Jenny Stitches. Jenny is an absolutely fantastic person. She's also an amazing sewist herself. So I have joined her blogging team, and you should go check out the post. There are 10 bloggers, including myself, and there are a lot of really good, talented people included in there. So go and check that out and follow them over on Instagram if you're there, because I think that's where I get a lot of my inspiration as well, is over on Instagram. When you see someone has made a certain thing or they've used a certain fabric in a really different way, and just kind of helps you sometimes to think outside the box. So I do love Instagram for that. And sometimes before I make up my mind on a certain pattern, you know, I do research the hashtags and whatever, and I do tend to look to see how those patterns look on curvier bodies, being a curvier woman, and I think Instagram's been pretty useful to me in that sense. So it has, since I started sewing. So off I go to read my book. Hopefully you've enjoyed me sharing my ridiculous amounts of fabric splurging and planning. You know, I do have plans for a few of those things that I've shown, which is great. And I'm sure I will think of plans for the others. There's just so many pattern releases and stuff that always come up this time of year. So that'll be exciting too. And I can't wait to share with you the pattern tests, because both garments are absolutely stunning. And yeah, hopefully I can do them justice. So enjoy what is left of your weekend. Hopefully you're getting some time to sew for yourself as well. And yeah, have a lovely evening. Thank you for stopping by. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit the subscribe button. And hopefully I'll be back soon with garments instead of fabric. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.